Hi everyone, Simon Caddy at Giddy Tech. I just want to take you through the basics of OneDrive and how to get the most out of it. I'm assuming that you guys have already logged in and got it all set up. So let's dive straight in how to get you synced and ready to go. So there's going to be a lot of different places that you can get your shared files from. So your sort of 9 dots in your top left hand corner, you can either go to OneDrive or SharePoint to get to your shared folders. I'll show you both ways, so let's start with the OneDrive option. On the left hand side you've got quick access. Most of these are going to be your shared documents files depending on how you've got yours set up. So the default for you when you open it up is your own files, which should be your documents folder, which should be synced to your desktop, and we'll go through to make sure yours are set up that way shortly. So if I want to sync, say, the accounts folders to my desktop, you can just click on the accounts icon and you'll see up here a sync icon. Click on that and you'll ask you to get a little prompt from the browser saying getting ready to sync. The first time you do it, you will get a prompt at the top as well. Once that's done, open up your files like you would normally, and on the left hand side now you'll see your company name with a little skyscraper next to it. So we're part of the Finetta group, so ours says Finetta. The Finetta, and then you see there the accounts folder that I've synced is up right at the top. Double click there, and there you go. That's your list of files. So the way OneDrive set up, rather than synchronizing all the files and saving a copy to your laptop or your PC for everything, it downloads them as it needs them. So you get the full list, but you won't get everything from it. It saves room on the hard drive. So you can see there we've got customer service. For some reason there's 2 versions of customer service, and we'll go through and show you how to remove them as opposed to deleting them. Something to remember: if you right click here and go delete, that will delete them for everyone, not just you. So we don't delete them. If we want to stop synchronizing the customer service file for any reason, we'll go through and cancel that off, which we'll go through shortly. Something that doesn't get used enough. So one of the big features of OneDrive is, rather than having to email files between each other, then ask for someone to edit it, ask for comments forwards and backwards, there's no more need to do that. So if we take, for example, in our CCTV folder, we've got the CCTV code of practice. If I wanted to send that to someone to have a look at, you don't attach it to an email like you would normally. You right click on your desktop and you've got a share icon. Click on share. It will load up. You either send it straight from there. So if I wanted to send that over to Ian, you can write a little message through and they'll get that, and then click send. So Ian will now get an automated email from 365 to say my customer message there to say have a look at this. We can also do another way to do it: right click share again. You can copy a link. So if you wanted to send that in a separate email yourself, or within Teams, or Teams, or to email it, or any other sort of internal business messaging, that you can copy that link and send it whichever way you want to. So that cuts down on sort of different versions, who's got the latest version. You're sharing it from the shared file in the right place, but likewise you don't have to then say, oh, go into the shared documents, then into CCTV, and then there's a code of practice, I want you to read it. You just share them a link, say, have a read of this, can you check this over for me, whatever you need doing, and you're done. Something else that's really nice is being able to use the same folder file at the same time. So this is a copy of our order sheet. So up in the top right hand corner you can see that Ian's actually in this at the moment. You can actually see which cell he's in. So he's on H199. I won't scroll up because of the information that's on this sheet. Click on there. I can go straight to where Ian is. What it also shows me is a coloured cell to show which one he's in. We've got Lily send email, which if you click on that, it will open up ready for me to send an email to Ian to ask him anything that I want to do about it. The copy fills in the subject for you, email address, and then ready to go to type whatever message I need to send to him. But the important thing is as opposed to only one person being in a file at a time, you can all edit a Excel Word file all at the same time without causing conflict of versions or anything like that. So you can, it makes it so, like for our order sheet, any of us could be adding to this order sheet. Either we're making the order, we've just had a quote accepted, so we need to fill it out to make sure it's all ordered. Something's just arrived, so as it's arrived, you can see there we write down to say that, write the date it's arrived and who collected it from the office or from our drop point, whichever. So there is several times like now where more than one of us will be in this folder at the same file at the same time. Something that's enabled by default for OneDrive is the autosave function. So if you create a new Word document, see at the moment it's saved, autosave is turned off. So it can't be on autosave at the moment because it doesn't exist anywhere. So we click on, and the same will happen if you click on save. Save it to your relevant OneDrive. So most of you will only have the one. And we'll call it test. That'll automatically save it into my documents folder. So as there you can see, like, autosave is now on. If for any reason you wanted to use a shared document that you didn't want autosave on for any reason, you do need to go up and turn it off, because it does overwrite the file constantly. So if I just write the word and, that's it. You can see up here it says saving. Once that's saved, that's done. There's no sort of versions to go back to. This is the live version all the time. So just something to bear in mind if you are working on documents you don't want to overwrite. And if there's a template, you're better off saving it as a template, which a lot of people do miss. So we're going to go save a copy, and up here you've got, under here, lots of people miss this. So you've got Word document, you want to go down, save it as a Word template. That way, whenever you open it, so if you do invoices, for example, as a Word document template, save the main blank template as that. Then when you double click to open it, it'll open as a copy of that file, still called document 1, and then you'll be able to save it, so you don't end up having that, oh, who used the invoice form last time, you've overwritten all the data and I have to delete it all out before I can do anything. So yeah, save it as Word document. But if there is any other reason that you don't want it to overwrite, just remember to turn it off, because it is enabled by default. The other way you can get to your shared folders is through SharePoint. So again, with your 9 dots in the top corner, you can go down to SharePoint, and this will show you any groups that you're members of. So again, you can see we've got the accounts group, Gilly Tech group. So if we went on the pages group, for example, Finnet has lots of different teams depending on different departments we've worked with. Left hand side, you go down to documents. Ooh. No, it doesn't. Back. Try that again. So we want to go SharePoint. You get there. So again, to go into the pages group, down to documents, and let it sort itself out. And then we've got, again, the sync button, just like we did within the OneDrive version. Sync, get the little pop-up. It may ask you to log in here, but because we're on 365 domain, it knows who I am, knows I've got permission, and syncs it straight away. So again, if we then go back to our little skyscraper, I've now got pages in there. Likewise, you can expand this menu on the left, and you can jump straight into any of them from there as well. We go into pages, we see the Vodafone pages and that in there. So that's a brief overview of the main features of OneDrive. So let's go and take a look at the settings. Generally, you're not going to need to touch these, but it's always worth a quick run through. So we've got start OneDrive automatically when you sign into Windows. Yes, we want that to happen because any changes that have happened since the last time you logged in, you want them live, and you also want to be working on the live, most recent version, so the live version of that file. It's probably worth having, but if you are running on a laptop and you get to battery saver mode, it does sort of burn through your battery life if it's syncing a lot of files. So So all this will stop it doing is when you're in sort of that last 20% of your battery life, it will pause it to try and extend the battery life a little bit further. Automatically pause when you're on a metered network. So if you're on, say, a 4G network, for example, or a shared network in your building, you've only got, say, 20 gigabytes a month. Once you've set that in your network settings, it will then sync across and say, oh, I can't sync while I'm on this network. So if you're tethered to your phone, you've got, say, 5 gigabytes of data. When you tether your phone, make sure you set that as a metered network. So then you've got a notifications box. So just like I mentioned earlier, if you are to delete a file on your laptop, it will delete it for everyone. So there's just a little reminder that will pop up if you do that. And again, it will also, for any of these couple of items up here, it will also say when sync pauses, it will pop up and tell you that the synchronizing is paused, so you know. So this is quite an important one, and something that helps the remote working aspect of things, and making sure you don't have to have massive drives, so everyone has a copy of every file within the business. So this is ticked by default, and I say leave it on. Save space and download files as you use them. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It saves your space on your hard drives, on your SSDs. Make sure that you're not keeping all the company data on every laptop, because you don't all need it. It will download as you open a file. It will download it, ready to go, and likewise upload it. It will then keep that live version once you've downloaded it. And then on your account, you've obviously just got your account details up there and this. So I don't want to have pages on my laptop anymore because I don't need it. Nothing to do with me. And we'll click stop sync. So rather than going into that folder and clicking delete, that would have deleted all the pager files for everyone. I've just stopped syncing, and then that will no longer appear in my list once it's synchronized. So backup, this is enabled by default as well. So we go into manage backup, you can see that it's synchronizing my desktop, my documents, and my pictures. So these are the documents desktop, as you would find in File Explorer. So documents, pictures, desktop, all synchronizing to OneDrive. So if for any reason my laptop was to fail, I know my files are synchronized to OneDrive. So, and it also means obviously I can access them from any other device rather than just my main device. Network, if you are on a slow internet connection, might be worth doing. You can leave it. You can put it on adjust automatically if you want. If you're on a decent internet connection, just leave it to don't limit. But yeah, if you are on a shared network and it's a bit slow, and you find that perhaps whilst you're downloading files or uploading files, you struggle with using the internet or anything else, say video calls, keep the limit on, set the limit, have a little play with it, depending on sort of how good your connection is or isn't. Office, use Office application to sync Office files that I open. The same again, like we were showing with the live version of Excel and the autosave function within Word and Excel. That's where that comes in. So there can be occasions where there are sync conflicts. So this might happen if you were working offline for any reason, and then when you reconnect, it tries to sync, and someone else has edited the files since the version that you had on your machine. So avoid working offline if you can, because it will stop any sort of sync conflicts. But if it does, then it will you've got these two options. So always keep both copies, or let me choose. I would always say let me choose, because you can actually work out which one's which. Otherwise you can end up having 20. You go back to having 20 different versions. No one knows which one's the relevant one. And then just the usual about page. So that's the main parts of OneDrive. If you've got any questions, as always, give us a call 01209 316 316, or drop us an email help@gilly.tech.